Hello, welcome back to RetroBreak and welcome to yet another Game Boy Homebrew review. This week we're taking a look at a game called Deadeus, made by Isma and published by Spacebots Interactive, the same company that brought us the amazing Dragonborn. So you just know this one is going to be really high quality and I can't wait to get into it. It's a fantastic game. Basically it's a horror game for the Game Boy that has 11 different endings and the game spans over 3 days in a small town. There's a load to look forward to in this video. I'm going to do an unboxing, I'm going to explain how the game plays, but before we get into the game, here's a quick word from my channel sponsor Bifrost Bridge Studios. So I actually spoke to Kurt from Bifrost Bridge Studios the other day over Zoom and he explained to me all about his company. He also did a similar interview with Game Boy Studios Centeral, so if you want to go and read that and see what Bifrost Bridge Studios are all about, I'll put a link in the description so you can read that interview, and I'm really looking forward to their game, Gaia's Seed. There's a lot of different elements to it and Kurt's agreed to come on the episode when I do that review, so I really hope you're all looking forward to it. And with that said, let's get on with the video and see what Deadeus is all about. So here's a look at the packaging. As I said, it was made by Spacebots Interactive and the quality is just as good as their other game. As you can see on the back, they've got a few screenshots and a few bullet points as to what the game has in store. There's also a really nicely made instruction manual which also includes a map and a look at some of the characters that you'll meet throughout your journey. I also really love this attention to detail where they put the developer's logo on this cardboard insert inside the box. And it also came with this nice fold-out poster. There's a map on one side, and on the other side there's this really nice piece of artwork. And last but not least is the cartridge, and as you can see it's fantastic quality, and of course I love the fact that they included UKV on the label. And now with the unboxing out of the way, let's take a look at what the game's all about. So the game begins just as every good adventure game does, with the protagonist fast asleep. This strange creature is threatening to destroy the lives of everyone in this town within 3 days, and it's up to you to stop him. Of course, this is no simple task, and there's many different ways of going about stopping him, which you'll figure out over the 3 days. You awaken after the nightmare, and once you venture out into the town and meet up with your friends, you begin to realise that the other kids in the village have also been having the same bad dream. The game has a real air of mystery about it, and it was so cool on the first day just to wander around and talk to everyone and see what they were thinking and feeling. The whole game is actually open-ended, so right from the start you can venture off in any direction you like. You can spend the first day just going around the town and meeting all of the villagers and picking up seemingly random items, or you can choose just to go straight back to bed and move on to the second day. And here lies the genius of this game design. Depending on what you do in one day, who you talk to, what you choose to interact with, etc., drastically changes what happens on the other 2 days. I won't go into too much detail because I don't want to spoil anything, but here's just a few examples. Say you choose not to go to class on the first day, then on day 2 you won't be able to speak to the teacher, and that means you won't be able to get the shovel which you need in order to pick up one of the items, which allows you to dig things up to use in a ritual to get one of the 11 endings. So as you can tell, there was just a ton of design work put into this, and it's incredible that it all flows as well as it does. So your first loop through the game will roughly take around an hour or so, depending on what you do, but the game doesn't end there. The best thing about this game is the fact that you can replay it many times, and as you're replaying it you begin to build up kind of a mental map of where everything is and where you need to go next in order to do certain things. I really enjoyed replaying through it, which is something I can't say about a lot of games. Now before we go any deeper, I want to give a quick spoiler warning, and I do also want to let you know that you can actually play the game for free right now on itch.io, so I'll put a link in the description. So if you thought it sounded interesting so far and you don't want the game ruined for yourself, definitely go and play it and then come back here and watch my thoughts and opinions on the rest of the game. And if you are curious as to what the rest of the game has in store, then stay tuned to this video and we'll get into it right now. So as I mentioned earlier, when you're done on the first day you can go back to bed and then start the second day. Once you wander around on the second day for the first time, you'll begin to notice that things seem a little bit more uneasy than they did the day before. The kids that you're friends with seem to have worse nightmares this night, and some of the adults are acting a little bit strange. I really do love the atmosphere that this game portrays. It's so engrossing when you're playing through it, you just want to know what's going to happen to everyone. Of course, the first time playing through, you won't exactly know what to do, so once again, just go around and speak to everyone and see what they have to say. and then when you're done for the day, go back and sleep again, and once again your nightmares will become stronger and more scary. And then it's on to the final day, and depending on what you've picked up, there's quite a few different things that you can do. So I'm really trying hard not to spoil too much here, because I really do think this is a game that you should experience for yourself. But basically, as you're going through the different days, you collect different items, and there's certain key items that you can see by pressing the start button, and you need those in order to complete a ritual to get one of the best endings in the game. Some of these are actually quite difficult to find, and it took me several playthroughs in order to figure out the right order to get all of these items. You also need to figure out where to use some of them as well. But once you do, and once you've figured out how to get to this secret chamber, you can put them all on these pedestals here and enter the final area. I won't show you what the final area is, but I'm sure you can guess just how dark this game goes. Another thing that really shocked me with this game is when you find the knife. And once again, I am warning you, there's spoilers here, but once you pick the knife up, you can basically go around the entire town and kill everyone. And one of the endings basically is you going around the entire town and killing every single person that you can find. This part of the game actually made me feel so bad for some of the characters, because you really do grow to like some of them. So imagine growing to like some of them over the first few days and then just killing them. For example, when this old lady is separated from her husband. It was just heartbreaking, it really was. So just the fact that an 8-bit Game Boy game can make you feel that way is an accomplishment. You may have noticed as well that I was going around picking up flowers, and that's for another one of the endings. So there's a girl that you meet in the house next to yours at the start, and if you give her 10 flowers, she'll eventually fall in love with you. And then you can go and meet her at the top of the cliff, and depending on what ending you want, you can either go and sit with her, or of course if you've got the knife, you can just kill her and steal her heart. Of course, this is just a few of many different endings, so there's still loads for you to look forward to and discover on your own if you decide to play this game. And I highly recommend going and trying it out for yourself. It's one of the most unique games that I've played on the system in a long time, and I can't wait to see what he comes up with next. There are a few frustrating things with the game though. For one thing, I wish there was a way of giving the girl all of the flowers, because in order to do some of the endings you actually have to do this 2 or 3 times, and it does take quite a while to go through. I also wish that within the game itself there was a way of keeping track of the endings that you've got. There is a built-in save system, and the cartridge does have a battery, but once you've finished one of the endings, the only options you've got are either to go straight back to the start of the game and play it all the way through again, or go back to your most recent save. So you will end up seeing a lot of the same things several times, which did get a bit frustrating. I also wish there was a way of speeding the text up or skipping the text and cutscenes that you've already seen on previous playthroughs. And I also wish that it went a little bit deeper into some of the horror and psychological aspects in the game. But overall though, I have to say it is a very well made game, and definitely one of the best homebrews that I've played so far. It was just amazing to see a game that was so well designed and so complicated, and it doesn't have any bugs or errors that I've noticed whatsoever, and that is the sign of a great game designer and a great programmer. I also love the fact that the world is so compact. There's literally something to do in every corner of the map, and that makes each little section really memorable, and that makes it so much easier to remember key locations on multiple playthroughs. So there you go, that was Deadeus for the Game Boy, and I'm sure you'll agree it's an incredible achievement to manage to fit so much game and so much atmosphere onto one Game Boy cartridge. I was honestly glued to the screen the entire way through this game. It is a really captivating experience, and I highly recommend it to anyone who enjoys story-based games or anyone who's looking for a new game for the Game Boy. And although pre-orders for this game have already finished, so your only option now is to play this one over on itch.io, there is another Game Boy game that's coming out very soon, and pre-orders are up right now. So if you want to get your hands on a Game Boy Color game called Doc Cosmos, which is being published by Bitmapsoft, I'll put a link in the description so you can go and pre-order it right now. So definitely go and get that, you don't want to miss out on another physical Game Boy homebrew game. Let me know down in the comments if you've played Deadeus before, let me know what you thought of this video, let me know if you're going to go and check it out for yourself, and if you did go and check it out and then came back to watch the rest of it, let me know what you thought of the game as well. I would be really interested to know your thoughts and opinions on it too. Thank you so much to Isma for making such an incredible game. I can't wait to see what he comes up with next. He actually gave me a little sneak peek, so here's some concept art for the game that he's making next. I really can't wait for it. And that will do it for now. Thank you all so much for watching. Please consider checking out Patreon if you want to support me and see some behind the scenes looks as to how I go into making all these videos every week. And that's it for now. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you all next week for the next episode. Goodbye!